Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Live Ones. It is Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. The big story today, the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. We saw a wild brawl towards the conclusion of an ugly Maple Leafs Lightning game following a dirty hit on the boards by Kyle Clifford on Ross Colton. Clifford's looking at some disciplinary action from that for sure, might be a suspension. Kings and the Oilers had an exciting clash of styles of the boring, reliable, consistent all-around team versus the flashy, sexy, all-offense team. And you know what? Tortoise beat the hare. We've got the second slate of action tonight, and we'll have games to talk about there later on. Round 2 of the NBA playoffs continued last night. As expected, the Sixers were simply not built to last without Embiid. Bam Adebayo left Sixers center DeAndre Jordan hopelessly outmatched and posted a minus 22 in 17 minutes. That series is basically over. Sixers will have dug themselves into too big a hole to climb out of by the time Embiid is back, if he comes back at all. New week, new money for us. We finished strong on Sunday with a 3-0 clean sweep to finish the week up 2.3 units. That's 4 out of the last 5 weeks we finished up. It's been a great, slow, and steady run, speaking of the tortoise and the hare. And we're going to try and keep it going tonight. We've got Stanley Cups, we've got NBA, we've got baseball, whatever your speed is, we've got it. Let's get to it. And we're going to start with the Celtics and the Bucks. This play hit for us on Sunday, and there's no reason not to go back to it. The Bucks team total under. Yes, the Bucks won Game 1, but it was because their defense stepped up in a major way and really limited the Celtics' open looks. Without Chris Middleton and against this mammoth Celtics defense, they just weren't able to get themselves a ton of points on the board. Giannis had a triple-double and was terrific as a passer and a playmaker, but he had more shot attempts than he did points. And he turned it over 5 times as Boston had some real answers for him. Drew Holiday hit a trio of threes, but it was 5 for 15 on field goals. Grayson Allen was the invisible man. There just weren't a lot of great answers from Milwaukee offensively. Now the Celtics are in a bounce-back spot. I expect their offense to work a lot harder and take their time to get themselves open, limiting the Bucks' scoring chances even more. So give me the Bucks team total under, again, 115.5. Taking that under until they demonstrate that they've got some answers for these guys on offense. Moving on out west to the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Everything went the Grizzlies' way in Game 1. The Warriors did everything that they possibly could to give that game away. They got in foul trouble almost instantly, had 25 total fouls. They turned it over early and often, leading to Memphis runouts. The Warriors missed a flurry of open jumpers. They only shot 65% from free throws. Draymond Green was ejected on a questionable flagrant 2 before halftime. And the Warriors still won, despite it all. That was Memphis' best shot, I think, at stealing one on the road, and they're not going to get another one. Barring some kind of injury, this series is a foregone conclusion. You're getting a great spread on the Warriors tonight at minus 1.5. That's a bet you just don't even think about. You make that bet, you go have yourselves a nice dinner and after-dinner drink. You don't even need to check the score on your phone. Just have yourselves a nice dinner. Just come back to the window. Don't even look at the score. Just cash the ticket. It'll cash for you. Warriors, minus 1.5. So moving on. Just a second here. Moving on to the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we're going to start with the Avalanche and the Predators. The Avalanche come into the series as a heavy favorite, and rightfully so. Their offense has been dominant all season long. Their power play has been among the top 5 in hockey consistently since the beginning of the season. And the Predators are without their starting goaltender, Juuse Saros, for the beginning of this series due to an injury. The one sticking point is that the Predators actually were 3-1 against Colorado in the regular season, so under normal circumstances, you would think they might be able to steal a couple of games here and there and maybe have a chance of extending the series to like 6 games, 7 games, hoping for something crazy. That game's not tonight. The Predators are going to be in weather the storm mode while Saros is out, just trying to contain the Avs as best they can. But this Avalanche team can really turn on the Jets, and I'm expecting them to come out hot in Game 1. They have memories of last year's playoffs and that embarrassment in the first round. There's a nice price on the puck line at minus 120, and I think it's got the value to it. Colorado's going to come out hot against the Predators' second stringer and explode on offense, maybe for 4 or 5 goals if they play at their normal pace. This is going to be a statement win for them to set the pace for the rest of the series. Give me Colorado, minus 1.5 goals. Over to the Panthers and the Capitals. Florida ended the year as the President's Trophy winners. From start to finish, the Panthers' offense was just on another level. They recorded more goals than any other team, scoring the most since the 1995-96 Pittsburgh Penguins. What makes this Panthers team more dangerous than every other team is that they have the metrics to back up sustained output. They've got the depth. They led the league in shots, scoring, and high-danger chances at 5-on-5, and they've only gotten more productive since they added Claude Giroux at the trade deadline. The Capitals sputtered to the finish line in a conference whose playoff picture was set a month ago. They dropped 4 straight games and 5 out of their last 6, lining them up for the firing squad here in this opening series. The only way that you can possibly stop the Florida Panthers is if you have an elite goalie, and Ilya Samsonov has not been an elite goalie this year. He finished with his worst goals against average and save percentage of his career, the 7th worst rating in the league among 70 qualified goalies in the NHL. He stopped just 79% of high-danger chances and 90% of his shots at 5-on-5. It's a recipe for a dominant blowout series, and I think it starts tonight. It's even money on the Panthers puck line tonight at plus 100. Go ahead and take that. Panthers on the puck line, minus 1.5 goals. All right, so over to baseball, and we're going to start out in Chicago. And this just classic matchup that they try to do every year with the White Sox and the Cubs. We've been making a lot of money lately off of the White Sox and their terrible, horrible, no good, very bad offense. Well, they do get the benefit tonight of at least having a pitcher on the mound who's performing up to snuff. Michael Kopech will take the mound on tonight, brandishing a 1.42 ERA. He's only allowed 1 earned run in 9 innings on the road. The Cubs counter with Drew Smyly, who's been solid with a 2.47 ERA to start the year. Cubs have the worst offense in baseball over the last 2 weeks in terms of runs scored. Yes, that includes the Diamondbacks. But more to the point, and most importantly, take a look at the weather forecast for Chicago at game time. You are going to have a 44-degree game time temperature, constant spitting rain, and a constant, nonstop 35-mile-an-hour wind at Wrigley blowing in from left center field right back at the plate. Line drives are going to be knocked down. Fly balls don't stand a chance at making it out of the park. It's May. If spring wants to get started anytime in the United States east of the Rocky Mountains, it can feel free. I just turned the heat off in my house yesterday. That's how cold it's been. Anyways, take the under 7 runs in this game here all day. This game is going to be incredibly low scoring. Over to the Rockies and the Nationals, and we're going to take a look today at something that I just discovered the joy of the past few weeks. These nerfy bets, these no-run first inning bets. I just figured them out, and now I can't get enough of them. With how little offense there is in baseball nowadays, it's like a license to print money if you can pick the right games for them. Anyway, the best one on the board today is the Rockies and the Nationals. German Marquez is on the board for the Rockies. He's a phenomenal nerfy pitcher, despite the fact that his home is that he plays in Denver. Since 2021, he's 31-5 to the nerfy and 21 to the nerfy at home, including his 4-0 nerfy record so far in 2022. Marquez's first inning splits are out the gate are just about perfect. He's faced 16 batters in the first inning in his 4 starts this year. He's allowed only 3 hits and 1 walk, no runs, obviously. On the other side, we have Eric Fetty for the Nationals, who is just another nerfy machine. 4-0 so far. In 14 hitters faced in the first inning so far this year, he's allowed only 1 hit and 2 walks. Lastly, when facing hitters for the first time through the lineup, Fetty has allowed just 6 hits to 30 batters. I mean, this guy is incredible his first time through the lineup. Rockies' number 1 and number 2 hitters, Connor Joe and Charlie Blackmon, are both hitting for 200 batting average or below in the last 7 days. There's no Chris Bryant batting cleanup today either to drive in a run if anybody gets on base. I really like this spot here today. The nerfy prop is plus 120. Like I said, printing money. Take it. Rockies, Nationals, 0 runs in the first inning. And last but not least, let's take a look at the Red Sox and the Angels. The slumping Red Sox are going to look to get back on track against the Angels in a 3-game series that begins tonight. The Red Sox are returning home after a dismal 3-7 road trip through Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Baltimore. Boston dropped 2 out of 3 games over the weekend against the Orioles. When you're an AL East team that loses a series to the Orioles, it's a pretty clear sign you're in trouble. The Angels, on the other hand, are in much better shape at the moment. I say for the moment. We'll get to that in a second. Coming off a 4-game split against the Chicago White Sox, they've won 7 out of their last 9 games. They've been getting really great contributions from their starting pitching, especially today's starter, Noah Syndergaard, who's worked at least 5 innings and allowed 2 or fewer runs in each of his first 3 starts. And that's good because their offense has suddenly gone very cold. Los Angeles was shut out twice during the 4-game set in Chicago, capped by a truly horrific performance last night, where they managed just 2 hits and no walks while striking out 15 times in a 3-0 loss. Red Sox are one of the worst baseball teams in Major League Baseball at hitting righties. I smell a very low total today. Give me the under 8 runs. 7th and final play for the night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live1Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a very nice Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow.